नमस्ते में आप सभी का दिल से स्वागत है. It is so good to see you all here. I am Rotaractor Sanjay Jaiswal from Rotaract Club of Dombivli Suncity, RID 3142. Today it is 1st of July and it is celebrated as National Canada Day. We are so lucky to have with us the Rotaract Club of Toronto, with whom we can celebrate this day and get to know about their national day, about their country and about their club in general. So without any further ado, let's begin. Namaste from India to Canada on their International Canada Day, and we are going to proceed with the questionnaires that we have from our club. So the first question is, what is the significance of this day in your country?
So as a history nerd, I will give the historical background to the original date, July 1st, which is today considered which is today called the Canada Day, is the day on which the three separate colonies of Canada, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick was united into a single dominion under the British Empire. So it is actually the date on which the Canada as a unified political entity simply became.
Okay.
Go Burke. I did not know that. And I've been living here for 7 years.
To be perfectly honest, guys, I've been in Canada only for 6 years at this point. And before this meeting, realizing that I knew very little about Canada Day, I did a little research. So that's
amazing. I did the same today, actually. So the next question is, how do you celebrate this festival?
Yeah, so those are the big three things that I think accompany almost every Canada Day celebration: friends, food, and fireworks. But separate from that too, it's also a day where Canadians should spend time reflecting on how Canada became in terms of our Indigenous populations, as well as the struggles we still face as a nation to come together and work with each other and create an actual positive nation going forward.
Okay, great. And
I wanted to add one thing.
Yeah, sure, add it.
So this is not like Canada specific, but specific to our club. So typically on Canada Day, there's a rib fest going on, hosted by the Rotary Club of Toronto. And we volunteer at this rib fest, and all the money that comes from the rib fest, we get money for our volunteer hours that we can then use throughout the year for various charities in our country. So it's usually a really important day for our club to volunteer, because it helps us get funds to do a lot of the work that we do.
That is really a nice initiative. Good.
Yeah. So and Ribfest, it's like ribs. I don't know, like the ribs are good. It's a good way to talk to Rotarians. It's not just our club and the Rotary Club of Toronto. So many Rotary clubs participate, and it's usually a good time. Yeah. So it's like more Rotary Canada Day related, but not necessarily Canada.
Canada Day. Okay. Yeah. That was a nice input. Question. Shall we move on to the next question? Anyone wants to add anything to this?
Nope. Fire away.
Okay. So moving on to the next question. Can anyone of you share your interesting experience related to this festival or to this day that you have had?
I can share something. So when Canada turned 150 years old, I had a friend who was living in our capital in Ottawa. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to go to the capital for 150 years. And I mostly just participated in the fireworks. There's like a big fireworks show. There's a lot of people. It was like supposed to be like a really grand fireworks show that year because we turned 150 years old. There's a lot of other stuff going on there. So yeah, so I'd say the whole country, we did it up really big for 150 years.
So what are your plans for today then?
Yeah, today is a lot different. We are still fighting the coronavirus pandemic, so I am just, the highlight of my day is going to be eating lunch on a patio.
So is it still
With
a lockdown
only two
there?
other people, socially distanced.
So
to
is
your
it
question,
still a lockdown? Yeah.
So to your question, Canada has never been in an official lockdown. So people were not actually banned from going outside. There were no curfews whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But there are many regulations around what you can possibly do in public spaces, what kind of public spaces are open. So
Okay.
for instance, to my knowledge, currently only restaurants with patios are allowed to have dine-in guests or just eat-in guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you can only be eating outside to kind of
So what is the result
reduce
of
the
being
spread.
like into this situation? Like, are there more number of counts of positive patients, or how is it?
So the 7-day rolling average has been consistently going lower and lower.
Good news.
So I think we're
So-
only on like phase 2 of opening.
Yeah.
So it's just opening slowly. So
Yeah, and we have no fireworks this year, like in public, like actually like set up by the city or anything, and that's just to discourage crowds from gathering, because it's quite hard to maintain distance usually at these events.
So
We are facing the same issue here.
So this year, the what's going to happen instead is that our CN Tower, the tallest building, which is actually, if you look at Elena, if you look at that building in Elena's thing, that's the CN Tower, and so there's going to be lights going through the CN Tower. There's lights all the way up, and there's going to be a light show, and you're able to tune into like a particular radio station where the lights are going to be tuned to music. And so I personally am going to go to the roof, and I'm going to like turn into like listen to the music, watch the light show going off.
Great.
So I think that'll.
So is there any significance about this CN Tower you're talking about? Is it just a normal commercial building or tourist building, or what is that exact thing?
Yeah, it's a tourist building, and I'd say it's like the staple of our skyline.
Okay.
You know, like
it also
just
helps
like a way
provide
you recognize.
telecommunications.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it looks like
the
that.
tower is built as telecommunications, but
Yes.
the architect wanted to. He's like, no, it's going to be a tourist destination too. You will make it into a tourist destination, and that way, like, essentially pays for itself. But yeah, so it's
That's
for
nice.
telecommunications.
That's a smart
also-
decision.
When it
Actually,
was
you can see
built-
the CN Tower in Elena's background too,
Yes.
to the left of her
It's a
face.
silo, yeah.
Yeah. And when it was built, it was actually the tallest building in the world.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, only like Dubai, I think 10 years ago, ended up building the tallest after that. But it
Burj
was
Khalifa, yes.
the longest time.
Is there any difference between the celebration that people used to do on this day earlier and now? Is there any difference between the way people celebrate it?
I would say not really, maybe less fireworks. But one thing that has been brought to the attention, luckily, in the last, I want to say maybe 10 years, is opposition celebrations. So more directing people to acknowledge the colonial history of Canada, which has really provided positive collaboration.
Okay, great. So currently, are you working on any project related to this event in Canada? Any project,
We're in
ongoing
it.
project? Oh, this itself, yeah. This itself is a project.
But as our past president Stacey stated, normally we were having we would have the Rip Fest on this day, but
Yes,
this year,
but this year,
it's not possible due to conditions imposed by COVID-19 pandemic.
so we are here.
Typically we had Ribfest on Canada Day.
Okay. So, what is the famous street food in Canada that people die for?
Poutine.
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 So it's French fries, gravy,
Okay.
and cheese curds.
Oh, it is basically a French fries then.
Oh no.
No, but
This is not
Now we are getting offended.
Sorry.
Now you're telling us.
Sorry. I think I offended you guys. Sorry. I think I'll have to try it.
Yeah, it sounds weird at first, but like when you have it, you're like, this actually really works well
But
together.
who are we kidding, guys?
Uh-huh.
It is French fries.
With
no, I believe-
gravy and
It's
cheese curds.
crazy.
Okay, Burke. There's a storied history to poutine, and it's actually Quebecois food.
I would love to hear
cultural
it.
Quebecois food that the rest of Canada then has adapted as their own, and different regions have different versions and takes on the almighty poutine.
What is the 5 interesting facts about your country?
5 interesting facts about our country. By landmass, we're the second biggest in the world after Russian Federation.
Okay. The second one?
Ooh, there's these geese called Canada geese, and if you like kill one, you can get fined a lot. I'm not sure how much, but they're like the national bird, I guess.
Birds, yeah.
So this is something common in both Canada and United States and the entirety of North America. But for people who are coming from the old world countries where harmonized tax is very common, this is something interesting. In Canada, when you pick up a restaurant menu, the tax is not included in the prices. When you look at a price tag at a clothing shop, the tax is not included. So if it's $80 on the tag, when you go to the cash register, they add up 13% on top of that value.
Separately, okay.
So 13% is in the
another
province of
interesting
Ontario.
Another interesting fact is all of our coins we referred to as a particular name and not necessarily by their value. So we have
Example?
the
Penny?
1 cent piece, a nickel,
Okay.
which is 5 cents, a dime, which is 10 cents, a quarter, 25 cents, a loonie, which is $1, and a toonie, which is $2. So
Oh,
we don't refer to our
Nice.
money by like their actual numerical value, but rather a name.
I have a fun fact.
awesome.
So the name Canada is actually a word from the Huron Iroquois indigenous group, and the word is Kanata, Kanata. I had to double check the spelling.
Okay.
It means village or settlement in Iroquois.
Okay. This was a really insightful fact indeed.
Many of our
And-
cities and regions are actually named are indigenous words that have been adapted and anglicized. So Toronto is actually Takaranto. I cannot remember the meaning, but Ottawa, same, and many of the cities are like that.
Okay.
Another one about Canada. This is called Iron Ring, and this is awarded to graduates of the Faculty of Engineering in Canada.
Oh,
It's actually international, Burke. So any
Is it?
engineer in the world, so any engineer, certified engineer in the world should receive an iron ring.
I thought it was
Oh, I
like
think
from
we
a
don't have this
specific
in India.
Canadian
I
race that
believe
collapsed or
so. It is
something.
specifically Canadian.
No,
So
it's international.
Oh.
So my Ghanaian friends and Nigerian friends also have iron rings, and it's certified by the International Board of Engineering. Different countries do it differently, so not all people receive them. But if you're certified as I don't know what the name of the board is, you should receive a ring.
I think we are fulfilling the main motive of this project. We are getting to know so many new things. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like you can almost find anything in Canada. We have a lot of different restaurants from all different cultures. We have a lot of import stores. So everybody who has a connection to another culture, nationality, there's going to be something for you here. Maybe not everything, but yeah.
But most of them,
I'd say especially Toronto.
Exactly.
Like some provinces, it's kind of hard. But Toronto, I can say at least half of our club is not a resident from Canada. Like a lot of people came here. And it's very few people who live in Toronto who were born and raised in Toronto. That's also another thing. I think in this call, anyone born and raised in Toronto?
No one?
We all moved
Oh.
here at some point.
Was anyone born and raised in Greater Toronto area? If not city,
Yeah, maybe
GTA.
GTA. Yeah.
Out of luck, guys.
Very diverse. It's kind of cool. You get to try
But
a
that's
lot of
really
different
great.
cultures.
Then you guys get to know each other.
Different cultures, different perspectives. Yeah. What is your take on legalization of weed in your country?
My take is that I don't smoke weed myself, but I am absolutely in favor of it. Lots of people take it for socializing or even like medicinally.
Medicine, yes.
So I am pro legalization of weed. Even though I don't consume it or use it myself, I'm in favor.
That's really nice. Anyone else?
I think if people were gonna use marijuana anyway, cannabis and marijuana anyway, so I think it's good for the government
So
because now they can tax it.
but I see it across a couple different dimensions. So one is that the research has showed that the use of cannabis in recreational use isn't damaging to the fabric of the society, neither materially nor socially. So it's
Yes.
not a substance that is very addictive in its physical nature. So
Correct.
it doesn't cause people to have hallucinations and possibly react in aggressive ways in the society. Anyone who knows people who smoke weed know that they usually turn into couch potatoes rather than being. So in these aspects, also coupling this with my views about individual liberties, I think it should be people's prerogative to choose if they want to use it recreationally or not. So I am for legalization as well.
Also, it's really
Great.
beneficial for our criminal justice system because it really takes a weight off a lot of petty crimes. Pettier crimes that really don't necessarily need to be prosecuted.
I would say my only
I
concern
think we are.
is driving.
Yeah.
That's my only
Yes.
concern.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the
There are
smell.
actually few more
Yeah, it
concerns
smells. Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
Jessica too.
I'm not a big fan of the smell.
Doesn't smell good.
Yes, that is
Actually,
there.
in my opinion, if we are concerned about the smell, I think that legalization of this is a lot better because all of the legal stores actually have a lot of other options for consumption other than just the actual herb, which needs to be smoked. They're actually, and you can feel comfortable and safe purchasing these items because they're regulated, right? You can purchase cookies and chocolate and oils and sprays and pills, and you don't need to be stinking up the place. Smoking
And I
it.
think it's creating a lot of jobs for people too.
Yeah.
I work in a pharmaceutical company, and actually the cannabis and cannabinoid research industry is really growing, and people are really starting to look at the benefits of cannabinoids. And it's it's something that's up and coming. So it'd be interesting to see how it all goes.
So to that
Yes.
point, recreational legalization is not something very common in the Western world, but medical legalization of the use is quite common.
It's still going on. Yes, it is going on. So let's move on to the last question.
Except for the Canada Day, what you guys doing right this week or maybe in lockdown?
Oh, in lockdown.
Oh.
I think a lot of people, including myself, are just trying to get outside, go to a park, go to we have kind of conservation areas in their parks. So some are kind of privately owned and maintained, so you kind of have to pay to get into them. Some are provincial. I believe you also have to pay into some of them, but we have, as a province, we have so much green space, so much water, so many places to see. So I think what people are trying to do, and because being outside, being in big open spaces is fairly safe in terms of not spreading the disease. I think that's what a lot of people are doing these days, trying to just get outside when they're not working, because a lot of people are working from home, they're not commuting, they're not walking as much, so they're just trying to get out whenever they can. I don't know if that's everyone else's experience, but people
I think so, yeah. I agree.
And Buck, hello.
Yes.
Have you tried new cocktails or mocktails? Last time you were showing us.
Did I try new cocktails? I perfected my mojito, but I wouldn't say I was very adventurous with my cocktail making. So that's for your information. That's something I started doing, dabbling with since the start of simply working from home and all the bars and restaurants being closed. Mm-hmm.
So you guys are working today, or it should be a holiday, right? It's Canada Day. Okay.
Yeah, so some people who are in the service industry will probably be working. For example, if you work at a restaurant or
Eaton Center's open.
Sorry?
Eaton Center's open.
Oh yeah, so retail, like shopping, I don't know, maybe mail, that kind of thing. Like, but it's a statutory holiday, so if you are working, you're supposed to get paid 1.5 times your hourly rate.
Yes. Okay.
As a statutory holiday. Yeah.
We can wrap up.
Yes, absolutely.
Going 1, 2, 3. Done.
Thank
Awesome,
you.
Awesome. Thank you.
So thank you everyone for watching this complete video and staying with us till the end. Do let us know if you like this video, and don't forget to mention in comments if you have any suggestions or questions regarding Canada. Once again, Namaste everyone, be kind, and Jio or Jeene Do.